Twanji Kugler, and today I'll be telling you about the importance of a fire extinguisher. In the United States, there are about 300,000 house fires a year, according to FEMA, the government organization for disaster relief and more. They actually also stated that these 300,000 and more house fires could have been prevented had someone been there and knew how to, had a fire extinguisher been in place and they knew how to properly use it. So today I'll be informing you about what a fire extinguisher is, the different types and the usages, and how to use a fire extinguisher. What are fire extinguishers? So literally everywhere you go, there are fire extinguishers. In most states, it's the law. In most buildings and hotels and even planes. If you've ever been to a hotel or a resort of any sort, or if even any kind of apartment building or any large scale building, there's always going to be a fire extinguisher somewhere by, either in the hallways, on every floor, or even when you're boarding a plane, if you look around, there's a fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher is the device used to suffocate a fire in case of emergency. They are portable and recommended to have in every home. It's actually the law. In the state of Florida, it is required that a landlord or apartment provide you with a fire extinguisher. If not, they can be fined and there are penalties. The idea of a fire extinguisher was first used in the 1600s, and by 1819, they were made portable and making their way all across the globe. They were first invented in Europe by a guy named William Manby, and from there they took off. Now I have told you about a fire extinguisher, what they are and how they started. Now I'll be telling you about the different types and their usages. So first we have the different types of fire extinguishers. So the different types of fire extinguishers which are used from different products. We have water-based to start off. Then we have a foaming fire extinguisher. Then we have several different kind of chemical-based fire extinguishers. There are several different chemical-based fire extinguishers because these fire extinguishers have to be used in different circumstances. So these circumstances are considered classifications, and these 5 different classifications, to start off, I would classify starting with Class A, which is ordinary materials. Mostly is what sets fires to homes, which is like paper, wood, and cloths. And then we have B, which is combustibles, like flammable items like paint and petroleum, hair products, and things that are in like aerosol cans. And then we have the flammable gases, which is going to be Class C. And then we have Class D, which is the flammable metals, which happens more in like warehouse and factories and businesses. And then we also have the electric types, which also happens in a lot of businesses and things of that nature. Then we have the Class K, which is kitchen fires, which happens mostly in restaurants and mass cooking places. So now I have told you about the different types of fire extinguishers and their different usages and the type of fires that they are used in. I will now be telling you about how to use a fire extinguishers. So there was an acronym developed in the 1900s. It's not specified who was developed by, but according to the Fire Safety Advice Center, you should be using PASS when there's a fire. So what PASS is, the acronym pull, P for pull, the pin, which is you pull the pin on the fire extinguisher here. And A is to aim at the base of the fire, which is something that ignites the fire, as I mentioned to you before. That's why there are different types of portable fire extinguishers, because there are different classes of fires. So you want to aim at the bottom of the fire so that you are extinguishing and suffocating the actual ignition of that fire. And then you want to squeeze the trigger and sweep it side to side, which is going to eventually suffocate that fire. And then there also is an acronym called RACE. What RACE is to notify people around you of a fire. So you're going to rescue people who you can. You're going to alarm others. And you're going to confine the fire as you possibly can. And then you're going to extinguish it to the best of your ability. So in summary, today I have told you what a fire extinguisher is and why they are important. They're important to the world, but especially in the United States, because as I mentioned earlier, we have over 300,000 house fires a year. Different usages for what types of fires. Also, how to use a fire extinguisher in an emergency situation.